Welcome to Unlocking Human Potential with me, Andy Hosgood, a show dedicated to exploring what it really takes psychologically, behaviourally and practically to help humans thrive through conversations with leaders, founders, coaches, behavioural experts and people shaping how humans perform and grow. Is this for you? But if you're a leader, a founder, a business owner or an ambitious professional who wants to do more than just perform, they want to grow, inspire and bring the best out in themselves and their people, then keep listening, because the mission is simple: to explore how individuals and teams unlock potential in themselves, in others and the organisations they shape. Every episode is a deep but relaxed conversation built around three core questions. How do you optimise yourself? How do you unlock potential in others? And the best advice for you, the listener. Now over to the episode. Really hope you find it helpful and insightful. Clinton, how are you? You all right?
Yeah, good. Thanks.
Good. Well, welcome to Unlocking Human Potential with me, Andy Hosgood. Today's guest is Clinton Lewis, the founder of Active Physiques, a fast-rising coaching brand helping busy professionals transform not just their bodies, but their habits, confidence and lifestyles for the long term. His programs combine structured training, tailored nutrition, accountability and community support to deliver sustainable results, not quick fixes. Clinton's stories are powerful, as is coaching. He's gone from struggling financially to building a high six-figure business and now specialises in helping business owners create structure, clarity, so they can excel across physique, business and family life. He's a big believer in mindset as the foundation of transformation, crediting books like Think and Grow Rich, which helped him scale his income and turn weakness into strength. As a director of Active Physiques and a coach trusted by high-performance professionals, Clinton is on a mission to prove that when you can change the way you think and live, you can change what you're capable of achieving.
Couldn't have said any better there, mate. Get the nail on the head. It's like I wrote it myself.
Might be a little bit of support and help in that, but no, I appreciate you joining us. It was good when you reached out on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know, and I looked at your profile and I thought, you know what, this will be a really good conversation. So thanks for joining us today. So the way we always start this is something you're curious about. So curiosity kind of runs through all of our conversations. So what is something you're curious about right now?
What curious about you?
No, not about me. It can be about me.
Oh,
or
curious
just
about the world?
Generally about the world or about what you're doing or...
I'd say if I was going to ask something about you,
yeah.
How did you get into doing podcasts if from being a physio?
Oh gosh, it's never really come back that my way. I generally believe that one of the things that made me, as a healthcare professional, was really interested in people.
Yeah.
Even though I describe myself as antisocial and an introvert,
Wow.
I would say that my interest in people and when people came in pain, it was the story behind their lives. And I think I've always been interested in that. I'm the kind of person generally who, if I'm on holiday, sitting there reading evolutionary psychology books and behavioural psychology books. So people interest me.
Yeah.
So the opportunity to sit down with people like yourself and explore, you know, what optimises people and how we get the best out of people. A podcast just seemed a really good opportunity to have good conversations with people like yourself, record it, and then share it for others, really.
Yeah, so it's mad that you say that because you don't really like being around people, but then you're helping people. So it's like, which one is it?
No, I like a one-to-one. I do
right, I've helped you now, I've seen a bit.
Yeah. I like being on a one-to-one. There's always something I would... And but partly I think that comes from, I find that I like to reserve energy.
Yeah.
I think reserving energy is... and so being around lots of people and giving a lot of energy, I'm an energy giver, I would say naturally. So I think when you're in big groups, it drains my energy, whereas one-to-one, I gain energy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's the same as me. Like, I do like being around people and helping people. I do it, obviously, every single day. But I do like my own space as well.
Yeah.
So you do have to restore your batteries, don't you? Like after the live event yesterday. So I was around loads of people then. And then after that, you go on a little bit of a come down.
Yeah.
You get the high from it, but then you go on a bit of a come down. You feel like you just need to chill and let everything take in. And then even today, like now I get the buzz.
Yeah.
It's a bit mad, really. But every single live event I've done, so this was the third one of this kind. So the first one was March last year. So just under a year, well, less than a year ago, isn't it now? So there's 20, we capped at 30 people.
Right.
27 turned up, around about that. And then this one was like 110, 120 or something. So we've grown fast.
Yeah.
And even from that first one, it's like I did have a bit of a low after it, even though it's achieving something what you've never achieved before. Because a lot of people, they like shy away from talking on stages and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of coaches out there and they struggle by doing something like that. But really, it's like you can't fake it, can you? Because there's no script. So you have to prove that you've got the knowledge. You have to prove that you're confident. You have to prove that you can change lives on the spot.
Yeah.
And like, you know, people will be asking you questions. You can't really think, oh, let me just like get this one up here now.
So talk to me about the live events. What made you then, because obviously you've had the business, 7 years?
Yeah, this is year 7, yeah.
So what's then made you then go, let's put these events on, and what are they about to listeners that are unfamiliar with you?
It's one of them, like I went to a live event and it was a mindset and motivation one.
Nice.
And for me, like I got a little bit of an idea from that because I do like the Tony Robbins and the Bob Proctors and all these sort of people who do the talks. And I've always wanted to do it really.
Okay.
I put it off for years down to obviously limiting beliefs, you know, fear of judgment, you know, do I know enough, like all that sort of shit, which you have to put to bed and just crack on. But then I went to this live event and I thought, it's good, but I can do better than that.
Okay.
So obviously then I created my own.
Oh, nice.
So it's like an idea. I think going to there, seeing it in live, just give me the like confidence to think I'll crack on with this and just beat them. Because I like to beat people.
There's a competitive nature
in my
to it.
mind. They don't know the competition, but in my mind, they always want to be the best. So
no, but I think, I'd love to kind of, if you're comfortable, just share a few insights from the conference. I mean, what I took from that, which I love to hear, is that, you know, I'm sure there's going to be a theme through this conversation over the next 55 minutes or an hour, is that, you know, what you've said, there's a limited belief that stopped you from doing it. Whatever went on when you went to the live event kind of gave you a level of self-belief, going, actually, I could do this, but no, I can do this better.
Yeah.
And then you've gone on to achieve it. And I'm sure those, you know, my world of coaching, that's, you know, a lot of business owners and leaders in their businesses, that's one of the things that's holding them back. So I'm just curious then, was there a one moment? Was it something at the event somebody said, or what was the...
I think it was just because like I went there and obviously it was in real life. It wasn't like you're watching Tony Robbins on telly thinking that's a dream, that's a film.
Yeah.
It's like going in person and then just seeing people are similar to you, like on a similar level.
Yeah.
And they might be a little bit further ahead, but they're not the reaching point. So then it puts a belief well, if I can do it, I can. Do you know what I mean? Rather than thinking, right, Tony Robbins is a billionaire. He's miles. It's going to take a good few many years to get to that. So you after all, I think stacking them little wins, building momentum will just move you forward. And the more wins you get, the more times you go out your comfort zone, then your confidence moves up. But the first thing what you need to do is always take action. Because if you don't take action, you're just going to be at a standstill. You'll be the person who says, I can do that rather than I'm doing that. So you just need to start getting the wins, really.
I love that. Well, it kind of brings us to kind of what the themes of the podcast are. So kind of 3 themes, and I think we've already started on it, and we'll explore it more about how we unlock the best out of ourselves. So you can obviously take that from your own personal journey, or obviously the work that you do as a coach.
Yeah.
You know, how do we get the best out of people? Then I'd love to explore, you know, how maybe as a coach that we also help unlock potential in others.
Yeah.
You know, any secrets around that you could share,
Can't
any
tell
insights you've
secrets.
got. No, obviously, you'd have to sign up to you. And then, like you've said, I think one of the bit at the end that, you know, I believe if listeners have, you know, listened to us for a good 50 minutes, the last 10 minutes should be about how we wrap this up and how we then offer advice and offer those insights and almost challenge what actions listeners should take. Yeah,
defo.
So if we talk about, I mean, what were some of the insights from maybe the mindset event that you did this weekend that may be about unlocking potential in self? So
just probably take it back to the start of the journey, really, because I think my journey shaped my actions now, and obviously my actions have shaped my journey. So it's like a circle, really.
Yeah, cool.
But I was working a dead-end job, but I didn't like doing. Worked there from school as an apprentice, building ambulances. And it was like prison, to be honest. There was a guy who was there was offices upstairs. You was on a line, like making stuff and all, making trailers, coaches. And then there'd be bosses who sat there And if you like talked, they'd come down and say, "What you doing?" I was like, "Just having a chat." Nah, I get back to work. Okay. And that was all like that for 8 hours straight, 8 to 10 hours straight every single day. 16 years old, just treated like shit. And then it was just around a low negative people because everyone hated the job, but they weren't there for the money. And then I went to Ibiza basically with my mate, got a loan out of the bank for $3,000, went and flown over there for 3 weeks because I thought, I'll just see what it's like. I was a bit too scared to think I'm going to quit my job, but I thought I'll just see what it's like. So I went over there, had the time of my life, and then come back. And I was in work and I was just every single day, I was like, you get the holiday blues, don't you? But I was basically had the holiday blues for like 2 months, and I thought, something's not right here. Probably I'm living the wrong life. And I didn't really know my purpose at the time, so I just thought, I must need to be doing seasons. So I handed the notice in, done the first season, and then that's when obviously I mentioned about the €3 sandwich and stuff, because there was a Jesus shop in Ibiza.
Right.
And I remember I had the 270 or 250 euros in my pocket. It was the tips from the night before. And I went there and I wanted to get like something to eat because I was starving. I used to have like 1 meal a day over there. Right. The rest of the meals were beer. Do you know what I mean? through the job. So I went to this, get something to eat. And it was like a tuna mayonnaise, but it was more like a mayonnaise with a tiny bit of tuna. Bit of short-changing you really, but you thought, get on with it anyway. Don't know when the next meal's coming in. So I went there and obviously I didn't have enough money for the sandwich. And obviously that was a point where I thought, bloody hell, this is like rock bottom really. I already rang my mum 200 times and got like little hand-me-overs and all that. So she was fed up with me. So it was either like cracking on over there, struggling, or you're going to have to come home. And my mum told me not to go to Ibiza. She went, you've got a good job, because she's grown up with like, jobs are hard to come by, just limiting beliefs. Yeah. What she got taught stuck with her, and she tried to teach that to me. But I always had a thing where like I wanted to do the opposite, and it sounds corny, and I always say this, but I always felt like I was born for something greater than just working a 9 to 5. So I just had that thing in my mind, and when I had that normal, like, balanced life, like the normal job and all that, felt quite, like, lost and low. And I thought, wow, I'm getting these mad feelings, and why are they doing this and that? So then basically I just carried on, persevered with the season, come back, but every time I come back, I just felt like lost again. And then obviously I thought of the idea to make these £9.99 plans. And then obviously it is what it is today. But the key thing what I'll take away from that is just taking action, really. Taking action is going to move you forward. You can speak about stuff all you want, but taking action is the key thing what I'd say any business owner or anyone who wants to be successful to move forward. Other than that, it's just words.
And I think it's quite powerful. And if you don't mind, let's explore the taking action piece.
Yeah.
Because it's, for some, taking action does take a level of bravery.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And it sounds, and even in that story there was like, there's moments, isn't there, where you go, oh, actually,
yeah,
I need to move away from this, and there's that element of moving towards or away from something, and it feels like you were moving away from a limited belief, or I never want to be in a situation where I get a mayonnaise sandwich that might have a bit of tuna in, but actually I can't afford it anyway.
No.
Yeah. No, but I think a lot of people will resonate with moments if they take the time to reflect on their past that have been quite pivotal, and that's definitely quite a pivotal moment in yours.
It is. It's you don't learn anything from winning. It's always the losses where you get the lessons, and you think, oh, I need to do that this way. So that's really where you move forward. All my like lowest points in my life, and I've not ever been on fully rock bottom, but I've been like close. All them low points, even with business, business can be up and down. I even had a low point last year. I had like 2K in the bank. I had to lend $5,000 off my mum to pay the staff and all that. And the business was slowed down. I went from earning, X amount to 12K a month, which obviously is a lot of money, but it was shite for me, to be honest with you. It was really crap. And then I thought, wow, this is bad, this. And then my older brother, Carl, he's like 38, he's the one who got me into sort of the mindset stuff young. So he gave me the book The Secret when I was 18.
All right, okay.
But I read it. Obviously, I wasn't even doing anything with my life then. I was just like having a good time sort of thing. But he started a call centre.
Yeah.
And he was training all his staff up, and he really become successful. And every time someone new started, give him The Secret, because it changed his life. And he gave it me, and I read it, and obviously I took some things in, but then it had a story about someone, they manifested money, £1 million, it come through the letterbox. I thought, fuck off, that's not true.
Yeah.
So I clocked out of it really, but I took some things. But then last year, like I say, he sent me a video of a man called Bob Proctor.
Yeah.
So I went through a rabbit hole of just like personal development and then led me on to how to think and grow rich.
Yeah.
And then within 5 months, I went from like 12 grand to 50 grand months.
Nice.
You know, so it's times it by around 5.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, this is mental. But yeah, it's just all about working on yourself and moving forward. And really what the book taught me, because it's how to think and grow rich, but it doesn't teach you how to get rich really. It teaches you how to understand your mind and what things to do when you're going through the low points.
Yeah.
Because I used to think like business, it's up and down and you get the lows and, you know, it's a certain amount of time when you get to high again, but you can drag the lows out for as long as you want with a negative mindset.
Yeah, you can.
It's the actions, what you do in them times, which you could snap back into a high the day after if you want to. But it's about what you do in the times of struggle, which really shapes you as a person. Because anyone can have a good life when it's all sunshine and rainbows, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's really what it taught me.
And it's quite nice because I always use analogy. We've always got a choice, haven't we?
Yeah.
You know, and I think what you're saying there is, you know, and you're right, and in business, it would be lovely, wouldn't it, if every month or every year we just got year-on-year growth and growth and growth.
Yeah.
And everything we touch turned to gold. I think they're far and few between the people that actually happen.
Yeah.
So there are going to be the roller coaster of business and life, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and like you say, the choice of going when things are going good, you know, we've got a choice to either, we'll just sit back and just enjoy that, or keep pushing, or when things are going bad, do we just, you know, mope and do nothing about it, or is that the time where we go, actually, this is where we have to kind of roll our sleeves up and take some action?
That's it. Well, that's what I was doing when I was going through that low patch, was moping.
Yeah.
But you can tell how you're feeling because the way you talk. You know, I went from watching like positive things, because with me, I've always kept the routine in terms of gym and Stairmaster and stuff like that, because I like that routine. It makes me feel good. But even on the Stairmaster, just a brief little thing, what I changed was I was watching like fighting online, you know, like TikTok and all that, just like random fights. So I swapped it for watching Bob Proctor, but you lose track on what you're watching and consuming when you're in that negative mindset, but it spills out onto every single thing in your life, you know, your relationships, how you speak about people, the things what you watch, the things what you're focusing on. And then before you know it, you know, you're trapped in that bubble and you think that's your life.
Yeah.
But it's not. You need to just change your mindset, and it's the way you look at things which will give you the result. Because everyone's got negatives in life, haven't they?
Oh, and I think it's part of life.
Yeah.
I think negativity is part of life. And I think, like you've said, it's how we handle it and the choices that we take with it, I think, are really important. So just on that, just, I guess, a curiosity. What is it? Do you have something, you know, and I'm assuming even there, you know, you're aware that things, I'm assuming not every day is a good day for you. You still have negative days.
Yeah.
How do you then recognise that you're having a negative day? And then how do you snap out of it?
Well, you recognise how you're having a negative day by your mood.
Okay.
So you'll feel low and you'll feel like you've got something on your mind.
Yeah.
The way what I personally do it is I'll go on a walk in nature.
Okay, yeah.
And then I'll brainwash myself back into positivity.
Okay.
By like what I'm consuming. So I'll go on a walk and I've started watching a new guy, I don't know if you've seen him, called David Bayer.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's a good one.
It's
his new one. So, like, obviously, it's Tony Robbins and Bob Proctor. But Bob Proctor's, he's died now, hasn't he? Which I was gutted about. Wanted to meet him, really. Yeah. He died about 4 years ago. That was good.
What's interesting, sorry, so Andrew Stirrup, who's actually, I recorded, he flew to the States to do all of his courses.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so he actually thought really, really highly of him.
Did he meet him in that?
No, he met him and everything, yes. I know, I said that when I was listening to him. I thought that would have been really good, When
you're watching him on YouTube, like someone that many times, you feel like you know him, don't you? It's mad. It's like a spiritual thing when you listen to someone's voice and they connect with you. It's like once you're listening to them, it puts you in a different state. Like I only listen to his voice, I start calming down and feeling good about myself.
Yeah.
But then that new guy, the David Bayer, so next month I'm going to Texas to go and see him.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I'm not going to miss out on his unless he passes away before me.
Fingers crossed.
But so he's a new one, really.
Okay.
So he's just built, I think he's got about 300,000 followers on, subscribers on YouTube.
Right.
So he's not like massive, but he's on the rise.
But again, it's who resonates with you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and it's interesting, but also where we are in our journeys. So I'm sure if you read The Secret now, you'd probably take a lot more from it. And actually now, like you've said, where your turnover's moving slowly up, actually when you look at 1 million, a million probably doesn't feel unrealistic to you.
No, a million bit it this year.
Yeah, so that's the thing, isn't it? Whereas, and I think there's lots of, people that take advice, don't listen.
Yeah.
But actually, at times, because their mindset isn't open to it,
yeah,
as it sounds like maybe at 18, that was potentially who you were.
Yeah.
There was a moment where you had, let's call it a light bulb moment, where you just went, oh, actually, things need to change for me. And that's something that you've almost taken on.
Yeah, it's like, even if you read a book now and then, in a couple of months, you'll notice different things because it's resonating with you at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of the book, it was a really big turning point for me. And I had to work on myself a lot. Like, obviously, I've got a tattoo there, so I stopped drinking on that day.
Okay.
Which is about 10 or 11. I'm not counting, but I can see the date there. Do you know what I mean? But drink wasn't like a massive problem where it was always every day or anything or every week. But when I done it proper, do you know what I mean? Went all out, benders and everything. So I think it's because I didn't do it that often. You go more into it.
Yeah.
And since I've been getting more successful with the business over, say, the last 3 years, obviously it's been gradual growth, but this is year 7. But last 3 years have been, more than ever. Well, the last year was the biggest one, but It was like stable for 2 years, round about the same, not going. But that was stable because of my habits, do you know what I mean? Because I went into a stage where it was like, you get a good week in business, then you go and celebrate.
Okay.
Because of the dopamine and you want to get higher and all that stuff. So you go and celebrate because you're earning more money than you've never done before. And you can take your mates out for meals and you can do all this and you can go and fly anywhere where you want. So you're getting someone like one of your mates there, let's go and fly there. It's all right, I'll pay for it.
Okay.
So you're doing all these different things. You're on a massive, and then you're going to Dubai and renting the G-Wagons and the Lamborghinis. Next thing you not got a pot to piss in and, you just like a knob, don't you? But I feel like you need to do all them things because it's funny. But then obviously you need to know what it feels like to be on both sides of the coin, really.
I think some do, definitely.
Yeah, I definitely did. Did I bought the t-shirt?
But you've got some good memories. But I think what's nice about these conversations is that, and I guess my assumption, not everybody does. People can be learning from what you're saying, aren't they? And I hope that, and that's, I'm assuming what you're sharing as part of your mission is that, you don't have to, blow all your money.
No.
In Dubai, you can keep your money in the bank.
Yeah.
You know that actually the consequences are because you've been that example.
Yeah.
But for you, obviously, that was part of your journey, isn't it? And it's great that, one, that you've gone through that.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you had a good time going through it.
Yeah.
But actually, there's lots of lessons learned. And actually, what you've then done is by recognising maybe some behaviours that were suboptimal for you. Yeah. You've then gone, okay, not only do I need to improve on my behaviours, but then how do you then mirror that and then turn that into some actions for others?
Yeah, I think the biggest real lesson what I was trying to say there is because my low points were down to obviously celebrating a lot, the drinking and stuff, but other business owners will have low points through different things. Correct. It might be other addictions like gambling or whatnot or whatever, or it might just be like self-doubt.
Yeah.
And thinking they're not good enough. So everyone's got like a kryptonite, really. And the lows, what I'm trying to say, is what really like excel you. And then you'll have them key turning points then.
But it's the fact that you own it. I think that's the thing. It's like, it's fact. It's, I'm very, well, there's nowhere for me to hide on these podcasts.
Yeah.
I mean, you even
start
cameras everywhere. But even the fact that you when I asked, you were curious about me, which is that no one's ever asked me that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay. But I've got nowhere to hide. I've always said that one of the things I can say is, I've been very open to say, look, my personal thing is I would call myself an introvert.
Yeah,
one of the things I would say, I'm confident.
Yeah.
And that confidence because I'm really comfortable with my own flaws.
Yeah.
Because I own my own flaws, right? I am flawed. I'm not perfect by far.
Yeah.
But it's the fact, and that's what I'm interpreting from what you're saying is that you recognise where your flaws were.
Yeah, of course.
You've then gone, right, actually, that's not helpful if I want to get to this point.
Yeah.
So then I need to kind of act on it. And that seems a big thing for you, taking action.
Yeah, it is. It's one of them, like, I know I'm not perfect. I know I've messed up a lot of times in life, but I feel like once you pass that stage, you can speak openly about it. But when you're still going through a struggle, you might brush around things and think, I'll just go on to the next subject sort of thing. But yeah, I feel like it's one of them, you just need to be open about it because that's how you move forward, don't you?
Well, 100%, but I think that is what the sticking point for lots of people and probably lots of people listening is the fact of the not having that open and honest conversation with themselves in the mirror and saying, okay, own your flaws.
Yeah.
You know, we can't be perfect at everything. No. It's impossible. But actually acknowledging it and then going, okay, so what behaviours do I need to change?
The fastest way to move forward, though, is working on yourself.
100%.
So if you don't know your flaws, then you're not going to move forward into the best version. And I knew, like, last year, I needed to let the beer go completely because I've knocked it down more over the years. You know, it's got less, but then it's been intense at the times, you know, the benders and all that sort of stuff. So, like, you kind of make up for it in a way anyway, but I've had times like last year, at the start of the year, I've done an announcement on Instagram, I'm sober now.
Okay.
You know, and by month 2, I'm going Bali and then I'm back on the beer.
Right.
But do you know why it was that? Which I'm good at identifying myself, really. It was because I always left the door open for when I went away on holiday because I used to love the memories, you know, having a pint on the beach. Like, that's my life complete. I love that part. So I always left the door open and thought, I'm not going to drink here. But I'm definitely going to have a drink when I go away and enjoy myself in the sun.
Okay.
But then if you go away in the sun, like I did with Bali last year, because I went with my little brother, then you've left the door open. You've drank anyway, so you're not sober anymore.
Okay.
So you think, if someone invites you to a party or it doesn't matter anyway because I drank last week, so I'll just start it next week. You know, and then you're back in that thing again then. So you're not keeping the promise to yourself. So you're basically lying to yourself and making excuses. And then you sound like one of these idiots like, oh yeah, I'm going to stop drinking and all that. And you know, you're on repeat, aren't you? And I've done enough times on repeat, do you know what I mean? So it's time to start moving forward and stop being bullshit. To put it plain and simple.
I love that's the clickbait.
Talk cheap.
No, but it is. But again, I think what's quite nice is that, you know, you are now sharing this. So obviously the events that you're doing and kind of telling your story, I'm assuming. And then obviously encouraging others to find out, you know, what is their, you know, less optimal behaviours that they're kind of adopting. And is this something that you've done solely? Have you had to get support from other people? Have other people kind of told you, maybe when you've had a bevy, mate, you need to calm down? Or is that something internal?
It's always been myself, really. Okay. Obviously, other people be like, that's not matching what you're preaching there. But it's been other people, but it's a combination of me first.
Yeah.
Like, even when I was in IBF, when I didn't have the business, I'd done my first season. Obviously, I went over looking pretty ripped, to be honest. Come back looking like a bag of shit. I was at the end of the season, like, to the girls, like, this is what I used to look like. Like, God, like, you know what? So it was like an has-been then. But then I got back in shape straight away, left the beer and all that. My dad thought I was going to be an alcoholic after the first season because I was drinking every day.
Yeah.
And he was like, wow, it's mad how you've just stopped the beer. But I always had standards to maintain being in shape, whether I let it slip or not. And then the second season, what I'd done, I got a different job, which was like healthier, even though I was still drinking quite a lot. You're on a season, but I changed the location because I didn't want to live that life where I was having pints at, 5 p.m. And that was your first meal. You're waking up at 2 p.m. and then your pints are at 5. That's your first meal, a pint of lager, really.
Okay.
You couldn't afford a meal anyway. Yeah. And you got done on the shift if you was eating. You know what I mean? You used to have to go and eat in the toilet sometimes. It's hanging.
Wow, okay.
So that's what they're working, but it's just, I worked at Lineker's and it's just a party place.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. But then I've took the options to change the job and like change my season. So I did still go to gym on the second season stuff because I always wanted to maintain like the gym and being in shape for myself. So there's always been like a limit where you think, right, I need to sort of pack this in now. Like myself. And a lot of the things what I've done to move forward's been self-study because I think with anything, you need to want to do it yourself. Yeah. Like, I do handle like quite a lot of addicts and stuff, or I have as well. But there's two types of people who have got addictions, like say if it was cocaine. There's one person who, they don't actually want to stop it.
Yeah.
They're still in that cycle. Like my best mate, he's an addict. He don't want to stop it. He's had the help. He don't really want to move on. But then you get someone who actually does. And their habits and how they like go into it is a lot different than the other person. So I think that all boils down to how much you want to change, which will determine the outcome of actually what you're doing. You can get everyone around you supporting you and saying, you need to stop that and we'll get you rehab or what. But it has to be you who wants to do it. And then that's when you get the result.
I really like that. And I guess part of then the work that you do in your coaching, how do you then, when you're bringing people into the coaching, is this something like is there a prerequisite to kind of see where they're at from, You know, because, you know, if we follow your Instagram, we're going to put all this in. You know, there's some pretty impressive physiques that people have got to.
Yeah.
You know, and which takes an incredible amount of discipline. And dedication to do that kind of stuff. So how do you then, you know, as part of that kind of remit, find out what mindset people have got to kind of help them to understand, okay, so what actions do they need to take?
It's always like the coaching starts a couple of weeks in. You don't know someone's mindset from day one. It's like meeting someone for the first time. They might be holding a face. They might be having a face on them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. They might not be the true, authentic self. So, the more you get to know someone, the more you'll learn, the more you'll move forward. Whereas I'm burping, he's filling.
Throw water down myself, yeah.
But the more you get to know him, it's like, you know, I can speak openly about one of my recent clients, Sam Larkin. So he was an ex-pro boxer, went home, his mum was dead. You know, she was struggling with drug and drinks and all that sort of thing. But he was a pro boxer. He went to a boxing fight just to watch. He was on the road for his 6th pro fight. So he was getting up there. Basically got jumped by 3 guys who he had a bit of trouble with and all that, and then got brain damage, got his boxing lights took off him. He owned the gym in his area, so basically he had everything, and then it got took away from him. So he went through the cycle of beer and drugs for 5 years solid. He used to have about 100 to 200 pounds of cocaine every single day, a litre of vodka, so he sounded like he was having a good time. I'm joking. But he was in that cycle.
Yeah.
But really you needed that cycle to go sleep. So it made him numb. So that was his distraction. But he's seen all the health professionals, private, all that sort of stuff. Then he come to me. But when I first started coaching him, he wasn't that open about it. Well, he wasn't open at all.
Okay.
But then I noticed on his check-in day, because my clients do 1 check-in a week, depending on what stage you're at, he kept like missing check-ins. And it's like before 9 a.m. And he's got a son called Tommy who's 9 years old. So I didn't really know much about Tommy at the time. So I thought, has he got like learning difficulties or ADHD? Because he said he's an handful a few times. And my missus, she's got an autistic son, so I thought, I know what it's like. So I just quizzed him. I was like, is he disabled? Are you struggling with him? And he's like, opened up then. He's like, no, he smoothed it over, I had a couple of cans. But it wasn't. It was, you know, the bags of Coke and all that sort of stuff. So basically, what I spotted his pattern, because every single person's got a pattern of what they do to move forward or be around in the same circle. So his pattern was basically every time he went on a bender or relapsed, he would go and do something like extreme, like a marathon or running up Pendle Hill or something. So that was like his self-harm, because he's this warrior, like the fighting man, and, you know, it sounds like Tyson Fury, the fighting man.
Yeah.
But he's this guy, his identity is the boxer. Right. You know, the athlete, his mum was an athlete, his dad's an athlete, like, obviously his mum suffered with the addiction and stuff, but there was all like athletes, do you know what I mean? So that's his identity. So every time he's pulled away from that, it feels like he needs to prove himself.
Yeah.
So that's what I figured out. And then I said, no, we're not going to be doing like, because he used to send me form videos, smashing it in the gym. He said, yeah, I'm going to send you some videos. He had a relapse last night, but I'm going to send you a video. I was like, no, we're not going to do that anymore. What we'll do is we'll send a video of you saying, I'm Sam and I don't drink anymore.
Okay.
So you should have seen his first video. He's like stuttering, eyes looking up in the air and everything. But the way he said it is, I'm Sam and I don't drink anymore. So he's speaking like the addict, doing a video. You know, he's not speaking like someone who's strong and powerful and over the addiction, because that's what you need to speak like in anything. So we've just done that every single day. And, you know, he's had less relapses than ever. He actually spoke on stage yesterday.
Oh, beautiful.
And he's nine weeks sober.
Brilliant.
Well, he's about 4 months sober, but he's had a few relapses, because life's not perfect. He has had relapses, but they're less intense. Like the last relapse what he had, he just had a couple of cans, you know, rather than the Coke and stuff. So it's getting less. But the biggest thing is, you know, he's better with his son. You know, he's back doing PT and in the gym. So he did have a gym.
Right.
One of the best ones in the area. So now he's doing the PTs again. He's feeling good in himself. He's doing photo shoots, and it's just amazing story, really.
And you can see in you when you're telling that story, how much you're smiling internally.
Yeah.
You know, the whole body you're smiling, isn't it? Because, you know, there's obviously a level of proudness.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm assuming that's part of like that also keeps you on. You know, seeing the results that you're getting is also obviously trying to keeps you motivated as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. That's the best part of it. You know, seeing other people win. It's like I've had people send me money before and just like making an excuse that why they want to leave. And I think like, oh yeah, I've got a higher bank account, but don't really feel fulfilled. But when I do stuff like that, speaking on stage and he's telling his story and he's getting nearly in tears and stuff, they're like key moments what I think, you never get the memories back. And it's all down to basically, well, it's both, but it's down to me putting them steps in place. And I just brainwashed him into positivity, because you've got thoughts, what you say every single day about yourself. Yeah. You're not good enough. Is this podcast going to go well? Yeah. I don't really know this person. Like, what's the vibe going to be like? Am I going to sound shit? You get all these little like stuff that holds you back. Everyone's got it, no matter what you do. But you have to say, because the one thing I've learned is you can't think a negative thought and speak positive at the same time. It's impossible. You can't speak and think at the same time. Yeah. So if you speak every time you think negative, is that going to fast track you to be more successful? And the answer is yeah. Right. So that's what he was doing. I remember his first Zoom call. He said, I'll always drink anyway. And I said, I know you will. And he's like, what do you mean? I went, well, you're saying you're going to be an alcoholic all the time. So you are 100%. You're speaking it into existence. So that's why I thought, I'll change this, and then I'll just basically sends me the video every single day, twice a day. Right. I'm Sam and I don't drink, and you can see his energy like, I'm Sam.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, but again, it's taken, and I guess everyone's got, like we started with, everyone's on their own journey, everyone's on their own little pathway. You've been very honest and shared yours, and and it's quite a powerful story. And obviously, Sam, the fact that he's gone from almost being reluctant to do the video to now embracing the video. Yeah. And actually now there's some real positivity and it's all moved in the right direction. And I think, listening to you there, I think a lot of people that have come on this podcast have said similar things, is in the sense that, it's funny what the conversations that we have with ourselves in our head, innit? Yeah, yeah. And actually, those conversations we have, how much they can impact you. But I really like the fact that you can have a negative thought and then trying to say something positive. It's very difficult to do, isn't it? So actually, and then having that, and it's about how do you then, or what would you encourage people to do who are listening that are having those negative conversations? How do you then have a positive conversation with yourself, or what's something that you've done or something that you share with your clients?
The biggest thing what I would say to anyone to do is affirmations. Okay. And obviously vision boards and all that sort of stuff, they're good if you've got goals and targets. I do all them. But if you've got, like, I've got it in my pocket here actually, so I have stuff like this. So like goal cards.
Oh, nice.
So I basically write personal goals down for me on there. And every time I think negative or I'm in a low mood, or just as many times as possible, I'll read that out loud.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Because then you're like brainwashing yourself into believing and not having doubts. Because the more times in a day what you have doubt, that's a negative emotion in it, so it's not going to happen. But the more times in the day you're having, positive thoughts, good things happen. You need to think, like, when you're having a good day, something bad can happen. Like I was having a good day. I was in McDonald's getting a double espresso before the gym. A guy drove into my bumper in the back. I just got out. If I was having a bad day, I'd probably have smashed his head in. But I just got out and I just looked at the back of the car. The guy was shitting himself. I got to the back of the car. I said, "Is there any damage?" He's like, "No." Like, right, have a good day. We're like, "Oh, cheers, mate. You've made my day." But like little things like that, it's like nothing affects you if you're vibrating good, really. Right. Unless obviously it was something severe. But like if you're having a bad day, if you bang your toe and you're really annoyed about it, you can have a very trivial thing what like piles on top of that. So it's about getting back out of the state as fast as possible, really, and then you'll start to move forward then.
And is that part of the coaching that you do? And I guess that was part of the mindset thing you did at the weekend, is it?
Yeah, yeah. So the key like message what I wanted to give everyone to that is overcoming limiting beliefs, because you all have them basically. Yeah. So you always have something what's holding you back. It might be from childhood or people around you or your circle right now. So who you're around, you turn into. Obviously, you probably heard that quote before, haven't you? It's a very good quote, but it's like just about overcoming them limiting beliefs to move you forward. But everyone's got them, I would always put it down to two main things, really. It's like the fear of failure and fear of judgment. Yeah. Them two main things everyone thinks about, with no matter what you do. Like, even when I was doing seasons, you have the fear of failure because you think, I'm first time away from home here. Yeah, okay. Am I going to have enough money? Probably not. Yeah, yeah. So it's a tricky one, isn't it? But you just have to persevere through it and, like I say, brainwash yourself into positivity and you'll move forward then.
And I guess that the thing for me, and I'd be curious where you sit with, because I like that fear of failure, fear of judgment, and I think, and I'm curious, do they ever go away?
It depends what your mindset's like, because for me, they'll never go away because you're always striving for greatness and more.
And that's why that's why I was curious where you want to go, because it's funny, isn't it? Because I think as judgment is a part of well, it's part of us as humans, I guess, isn't it? And fear is a part of us. It's a part of us. It's part of everybody. It's if we choose to acknowledge that part, isn't it? And like you said, sometimes the fear of, just reflecting back on your journey, the fear of going, am I going to get fed? So now it's the fear of going, well, what happens if I do it a million? What's next? It's what do I do with that? And can I maintain that? And, they're all there, aren't they? And I'm sure everyone listening is very familiar with that.
Yeah. Well, one of the quotes, you can take this one, you might have heard it, but it's my mentor taught me this one. It's new levels, new devils.
Okay.
So like every time you get a new level in life, there's new devils, new challenges.
Yeah.
So that's how you always want to see it. But I think once you start to build momentum, and it could be small wins. Even if you're on a fat loss journey, if you lose, a pound each week, you're going to lose £4 or half a stone in 2 months, for example. So it's all them small wins what they put your mind more at ease to do more. So I feel like the bigger you get, the easier it is to switch into moving forward. But I think the start bit, when you're finding your feet with the mindset stuff and finding who you are, because I think it all stems back to finding who you are and working on yourself. That's the main driver of everything. And once you know who you are, and I'm still working on myself every day, I wouldn't say I'm fully 100% confident in who I am and all that. It'd be a complete lie. There's always cracks in everyone. But that's why you have to keep learning about yourself. It's like, even when I'd done that talk over the weekend, you're having the thoughts before it.
Of course, yeah.
But it's just, even if you're not fully content with yourself, it's about thinking, I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, and no, I agree, and I guess I always use the same. I'm a constant work in progress.
Yeah.
Because it allows me to go, well, like you said, although I'm very comfortable with who I am, I appreciate that my constant progress has to be working on the flaws that I've got.
Yeah,
and it's that constant thing, and also that comfortableness of going, I'm good enough with who I am at the moment in time. But the version of me in 12 months is going to be a better version of that. But also my expectations of myself is probably going to be higher.
Yeah.
So I'm still only going to be good enough because it's that constant. But that is a fear as well that a lot of people have, isn't it? That is the real. Or when I get to that point, the world's going to be sunshines and rainbows, as you said there. Because actually you get to that point and you go, oh, actually, but I want to be over there.
Yeah.
So there's that constant moving.
I think it's the progression what you get addicted to, not the success. You like the grind and the progression and the working up and, let's push hard for this month and, get this sort of money, or let's push hard on this client and get them looking good for this, photo shoot.
Yeah.
It's the progression, and that's like with these events as well. With 27 people the first one, and because the event what I'd done was for free.
Okay.
Because obviously it's good to give back, do you know what I mean? It wasn't free for me, it was a bloody lot of money. Got our money back again now, back to this again. But so it wasn't free, but it's about giving back. But it's like, you don't know who's going to turn up.
No.
And then when you've seen people coming, you think, is there going to be more people last time or is there not? But there was, luckily, so it was all right.
But also, if part of your mission is actually to make a difference, then, it's reducing that barrier to entry, isn't it? One of the things that, even from our brief chat that we had before this, one of the things that you could resonate is that you generally care about the outcomes that you get with your clients.
Yeah.
I think it definitely comes across to me that it's important that, one, you get to tell your story so people can then go, okay, let's make better choices. Let's better choices. Yeah, but also there's the authenticity piece, people will resonate with that.
Yeah.
They realise you're normal, you're not a preaching, the fact that, and I think it's really important because I think there are lots of people out there that have been successful or have been, don't admit the flaws live.
Yeah.
And are very preachy about how to live life.
Yeah.
And, personally for me, then you kind of go, whereas I think...
You don't believe them.
You just don't feel genuine, if
I'm
honest.
It's one of them, it's like, that's the whole reason why, I can't not be authentic. So it's one of them, you avoid things when, you're not you're not doing what you preach, basically. Because I remember, even when I was in the cycle of drinking and I was in Dubai and all that, and I always do motivational videos from a team. It just comes naturally to me, to be honest. Probably you can tell. But I was just basically doing but I remember doing this video and the words weren't coming out because I didn't believe the words what I was saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying get up, get active and all that. What are you on about? You've just woke up. You're hungover, you dick. So I just couldn't say it. So I just ended up giving up and not doing the video. But I thought, I don't want to live like this.
Yeah.
you know, because I want to be boosting the team up and motivating people, and you know, I want to be the leader and stuff. So yeah, I completely agree on that.
Yeah, no, that's nice. And you talked around a mentor. So do you have somebody that helps and supports you develop and grow too?
Yes, yeah. So I've got basically a coach and a mentor. You know, I think the best investment what you can make is in yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I always tell people to invest into us or another coach. It just depends who you like. You know, I always find people buy from people. You know, you can say all about your qualifications and this and that and how good your results are, but I think really they're buying from the person.
Yeah. Because
there's a million coaches out there, but I'd always say you definitely want to invest to move yourself forward. It's like fast tracking your progress, really. You always want, like, it's insanity to learn from someone who you won't trade places with, innit, really? And I've seen that on a thing.
Nice.
Yeah, I've seen it. Will Smith said it the other day, so I thought I'd use that one. Yeah. No, I made it up. But no, I've seen it the other day, but I thought, it's true that, though, because I used to listen to people who they wasn't doing anywhere close to what I was doing, and then I was listening to them. I think, what am I going to do? Why would I listen to you? It's stupid, isn't it? So I'm just listening to people who's basically above me in the area where I want to go. Basically, like my mentor, he's got a helicopter standing in his garden.
Oh, nice.
That sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah,
I'll definitely listen to you, Phil.
That's the goal. I like that. So kind of, you know, thinking about your coaching, and one of the things is, so what things maybe can you share that has helped your clients? You know, we talked, one of the things, a theme that's definitely come from this is limited beliefs, you know, and those conversations. So is there any other things kind of that we could share that you think would be helpful from things that you do with your clients that listeners might be able to start adopting or using?
Yeah, so I done one on stage live the other day. So you basically get a piece of paper, obviously you draw 2 lines down the middle, like, well, you know what I mean, down the side.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So on your first category, you'd put what you want.
Okay.
So, you know, your dreams, desires, goals, ambitions, all that sort of stuff. Then the middle one, you'd put what's holding you back. What's holding you back from achieving that?
Yeah.
And then the last one would be basically what self-sabotaging traits do you do in terms of the middle one. So, like, you know, it might be drinking, pornography, you know, drugs, food, you know, whatever's. Because then you'll learn about, really, this sheet's going to learn you what your limiting belief is in a way. Obviously, you can dive deep and all that if you want, but it just gives you a briefing and it helps you understand, because I think you're only as good as your education. A lot of people, they go round in life with the same habits just because they don't realise sometimes they're doing it. You know, it'll be like someone who's trying to lose weight and they think, oh, I'm eating healthy, but they're not tracking calories. Yeah. It's not their fault. They just don't know how to track calories. They've not got the education. But when someone gives them the education, they're like, whoa, that's how you do it. And then they start to move forward, or not adding coffees on. They're getting these sugary coffees and all that and thinking, no, I'm sticking to the plan. Yeah. But they don't realise that the sugar in the coffee is going to put the calories on. So you're only as good as your education. There's always levels too. So that little trick there will just help you understand a lot more about yourself so you can move forward then. Because, well, like I mentioned before, the more you learn about yourself, the faster you'll move forward.
Yeah, and I guess it's creating that environment where people can be comfortable doing that, can't they? You know, and that's obviously a skill that you've managed to master, because, like you've said, there are a lot of people do. If they're going to lie to themselves, they're going to lie to you.
Yeah.
It's that study, isn't there, when you go to the GP and they ask you those questions and, like, you know, how many units of alcohol do you do? And everyone kind of just goes, not
that many.
Everyone underplays it.
Yeah, always.
On the basis of, like you've said, for the judgment part of it, you know, that fear of judgment. Whereas actually you go into a medical professional to tell you, you would hope, to kind of, you know, look after yourself, just like if you're coming to yourselves, so kind of figure out, right, I want to get into a better shape, or I want to create some better habits, and I want to lose a bit of weight or tone a bit up or get to 4% body fat, whatever the goal is that they're trying to achieve. You know, it all starts with you have to be vulnerable at the start, don't you? You have to be dead honest.
Yeah, you do, and it's like, people don't always do that though. It's like even Sam, you know, he wasn't like that at the start, but then you just, the more you get on with a person, because you have to get on with someone, don't you, to open up, really. The more you get on with them, then they'll start to open up then, because you don't have to rush it, you know. It's like a relationship, innit? Like, if you meet a girl at the bar, you're not saying, oh, you're coming home straight away. You build the connection, don't you? Then you say you're coming home like 30 seconds later. No, but you build the connection, don't you? And obviously that's how you have to work with people, because it's natural. Like, I don't like fake relationships. My circle's very small.
Yeah.
So I just treat everyone the same as that. I wouldn't like plaster a load of stuff to someone and act nicer if I don't like them. I would just basically tell you I don't like you.
But I think it's also important, isn't it, for people like who are whatever stage they're at, if they are, there might be people listening that are trying and get in better shape.
Yeah.
Which I know that a lot of the work that you do with CEOs and leaders, which is kind of a lot of our listeners, that founder-based business owners that are all stressed and full of self-doubt and self-belief issues. And one of the things is, there's the trust element, isn't it? So how do we trust somebody?
Yeah.
It's having that first step of being trusting enough to trust somebody to say, right, these are the calories you should eat.
Yeah. I think with a lot of business owners, the biggest struggle really is structure.
Yeah.
They've got a successful business, but what they do is they put the business first before anything, and they put the business before the most important person, that's herself.
Yeah.
And the same with someone, if they have kids, they're like, I'll do anything for my kids. They're doing more things for the kids than they are themselves. And really, if you're not 100%, how are you going to give 100% to anyone else? You're not. You think you are, but you're not.
It's interesting with that, isn't it? Because I was using analogy, and I love what you've just said, because it's, also if you're trying to be a role model to your kids, by looking after yourself, you're role modeling the behaviour that you're telling your kids to do. It's like, I'll always make, God bless her, she's not always happy about it. But if I haven't, I've got a bit like you, I've got a commitment group to say I have to be on a mat 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that might mean, because of lifestyle, I miss one in the week, which means I have to go on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So I have to turn around to my daughter and go, what is it going to cost me for you to come and watch yours train for 90 minutes on Saturday? Normally she's quite good. It might just be a cheeky Subway on the way home or something. Sometimes a little bit more expensive or a Chinese at that. But, but also for me, it's the fact of she's sitting there looking at, look, I've said I've committed to, to self-improvement myself.
Yeah.
I read every single morning.
Yeah.
There's those kind of things, and it's my behaviours that I hope. And I say that a lot, if you're trying to role model to your kids, but you're making excuses that you can't do it because of your kids, they're actually, going back to your thing, what you're saying and what you're doing are 2 different things. And they pick more up on that, don't they?
Yeah, it's true, because like my dad, he's trained for 45 years in the gym, and he got me there pretty much since birth, since I could walk. Do you know what I mean? And I always thought I found the gym on my own, because, I used to do Thai boxing basically, fought in Thailand for England.
Nice.
I've competed in powerlifting. I've done quite a few different things, which we won't get into.
Yeah.
Be here all day. Yeah. But like really, I was doing boxing at the time. I wasn't doing any weights. I'd done a bit of a messing about, but nothing serious. And there was this gym called Body Matrix in Blakely. So it's like 3 floors, and the bottom floor was cardio, middle floor was boxing bags, the top floor was the gym. So I left this other gym boxing because they kept letting me down with fights and stuff, and I don't know, my heart probably wasn't really in it.
Yeah.
So I went to a different gym. I thought, I'll just practice in here while I find a better gym. So I was practicing on the bags, and I thought, wow, everyone's going upstairs. Wonder what's up there. And then I went up, and I was up 15, and then I started the weights, and I seen very fast progression.
Yeah.
But I always thought, I found it on my own. But really, it was installed in me from my dad from birth.
Yeah.
And my brother said that it's in the DNA. And I thought, what does that mean? But I thought, it is in the DNA, because he's been planting the seed for years. I remember when he used to make his protein shakes in there's a big glass, because he didn't have the shakers back then.
Yeah.
So he used to mix it, and it had all the lumps in. Oh. And when I was 2 and I do you want some of this? Yeah. So it's just all them different traits, and it is in your DNA, and that's why I go gym now, because of my dad.
Right.
Because I think if I would have, my mum's not into health or anything. Do you know what I mean? So I think if I would have ended up like any of them, I wouldn't have even been into the gym or anything. So yeah, thank my dad for that, basically.
Yeah, but I think it's important though, isn't it? Because I think, like you've said, it becomes an excuse that people can use.
Yeah.
But I think you've just used an example, and hopefully my example shares it as well.
Yeah.
Mirrors that, actually, they're non-valid, aren't they? They're non-valid and excuses. So I'm just conscious of time.
All right.
So what I'd like, is there anything that we've not talked about that you want to talk about?
No, I feel like we've covered quite a lot. I felt like it was a nice flowing conversation.
Yeah,
so I was really enjoying it.
I knew it would be.
Yeah,
I knew it would be. So we're going to move to kind of tying it up for the listeners, because I think we've touched on some real, some big topics.
Yeah.
I've really really loved your honesty. And,
yeah.
and I think it's great to hear that, because I think it's, there's lots of people out there that struggle to be honest with themselves. And for us to sit down and have a conversation for the first time I've physically met, to do that. And I think it's, so I appreciate it and I thank you for you. So 3 practical things that people can try today.
To move forward?
Yeah, to optimise themselves.
Walking in nature.
Yeah.
Ice baths.
Okay.
I do ice bath twice a week on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Okay.
I just find they're a game changer. Like, they give me that dopamine, they feel good, mental clarity, drop your stress if you're very busy.
Yeah.
Just feel powerful for the day.
Okay.
And even if you've been like working really hard as a business owner, for example, and the stress builds up sometimes and then you get used to the stress. It's weird. But having that in the week, it just gives you that deregulation into, right, it's refreshed now.
Yeah.
And you actually get more productive. So I think that's a massive one.
Nice.
And then the third one, probably food, to be honest. You are what you eat, the old saying, it's a fact. Feel like when I eat crap to eating good, your brain's clearer, you're feeling a better mood. So it all leads to moving you forward faster in your business. So really, it's working on yourself, isn't it?
And is that something that, say there's people listening that are good at that, but they maybe lead a team, is that something that we could adopt as part of the mindset for our leadership mentality to go, how do we help encourage our team to work on themselves more?
It's one of them. I would always say, like, each team, because I've got a strong team, you all want to be like each other in a certain way. Everyone's got their own strengths on my team, but we're all into the gym. We've all got high standards. We all don't drink, so you have them certain traits, and it's your circle what really moves you forward. And you can get to a certain limit on your own, but then you 100% need a team to get really far. The mastermind, all these different minds, aligned, and you want the same thing and you push forward. So I feel like choosing a team is very, like, the wisest thing to do. And if you feel like someone's not in sync in your team, then you have to show them the door.
I think it's pretty much. I think
because you're circling it.
I'll be curious. Listen, I'm a big believer in it, and and I'm, for me, I think I've talked about this a lot over the last few podcasts. Is the fact that in my circle, I actually know that they care about me when they call me out.
Yeah, because if
I said I was going to do something, I didn't do it. Instead of going, oh, it's all right, and you were busy. No, I don't. I want them to turn around and call me out and go, you said you were going to do this, you've not done it. I go, okay, you actually do care for me.
That's it. And obviously, for a business owner who's running a team and they have people on the team who are slacking, if they can't give them like advice and action steps without them seeing their ass, then, I'm sorry, but you just have to let them go.
Yeah.
Because you all support each other, and I'd expect my team to do that. My team check on me and say, oh, yeah, let's do this and that. It's like, to support each other. That's what it's all about, because then you're with people who actually care.
Yeah.
And you all move forward together then.
I love that. One principle you wish every leader understood?
The power of the mind. That controls your full life.
Nothing to add there. Brilliant. So the question I always ask is how to turn insight into action. So I guess thinking about the kind of conversation we've just had, and I think you opened with it, and it's been a thread that's kind of been all the way through about taking action. So for people that are sat now or stood or walking the dog, and hopefully, in your will of being outside with nature, they've got their earphones in and they're listening to this or driving somewhere. How do we take some of the information that we've talked about today into actually doing something about it? You
have to believe it.
Okay.
So like, you could easily watch this podcast and be motivated, like come to my event and you'd be motivated, but then your limiting beliefs, your actions start to slip back into it.
Yeah.
So it's about just brainwashing yourself and making it like a religion, really. Not just listening to someone once, treat it like Christians with the Bible.
Yeah.
They've brainwashed themselves to think that's true, which is fair enough. I've brainwashed myself to know the mindset stuff's true, and then it's resembled in my life with different things. I wouldn't have achieved a quarter of the things what I've done without the mindset. And even looking back before I was sort of in the mindset stuff, looking back at different things what I've achieved, I thought, wow, that's because of that. And, the law of vibration and stuff like that. So it's one of them, the more you get into stuff, the more you believe, the more you see it, and then you just continue it then.
Nice. I guess
mic drop, is it?
No, yeah, it's good. I know it's not often you leave me speechless, is it? I guess I was reflecting, going, from that, what would be the first step to take action? So, because I think you're right, and I think it's a mindset thing, and it's easier for a lot of people that are going to go, yeah, but it's all right for you. You've already got there. Yeah. What would be the first step? So let's say, someone has got
an easy one to follow there. So like the easiest way to take action.
Yeah.
So basically, just get the paper out again. Yeah. Because this paper's coming a bit of a subject.
It's good. It's good.
But you draw a line down and just write benefits of doing the thing, and then put benefits of not doing the thing. Okay. Write them down, and then I think you can make a decision there. If the benefits of not doing the thing is more better than the other one, then there's your decision, isn't it?
That's the mic drop moment. Yeah.
Your one was a shit drop moment.
No, it was good. No, it was good.
Say some more. I
think the thing is, it made me stop and pause and think, which for me is always that powerful, because anything that makes you stop and think and reflect, which is what we're trying to do with this, I think is the important thing. So for people listening, where can they follow you?
Active Physiques on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube actually as well.
Right, okay, cool. So we'll put all those links in.
Yeah, nice one.
And what is it you're working on next?
So in June, got a retreat with Dorian Yates.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's going to be good. So in Marbella, June, obviously just finalising it and stuff, but going to have a retreat with Dorian Yates. And there's going to be a lot of other things like, because you know who Dorian Yates is, don't you?
I'm very familiar with him, but I was going to say, for listeners that are unfamiliar, do you want to share?
Yeah, so he's the best bodybuilder who ever lived, basically. One of them, Arnold, they say Arnold and all that, but he's one of them who changed the way of bodybuilding, didn't he, for the bigger and all that sort of stuff. But the reason why I like him is because he's sort of past the bodybuilding, even though he knows loads. Yeah. He's more into mindset stuff and he's just an all-round good person. Yeah. I met him last year, trained with him last year.
Okay.
So we had a training session and all that, and we had a good time together, and it was great.
Brilliant.
And it's just easy to be around. So that's just going to be loads of different things, really. So it might be like ice baths, training with him, some mindset work, hikes, yoga.
So we've got the details for that. Is that bookable now? Will the details coming out
No,
soon?
It'll be out soon.
Right, just so follow you, and then if anyone's interested.
Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds quite cool. Yeah, I'm familiar with it. And just to kind of wrap up then, what final challenge would you want to set for the audience?
Challenge?
Yeah.
What do you mean, like?
Well, anything. It could just be what was for them to take action. I know we've got it could just be the piece of paper one.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good one.
Oh, final challenge to move them forward.
Yeah, to move them forward, or to take what they've learned from today and do something with it.
I'll just say, buy Think and Grow Rich, and see it for yourself. Or
is Napoleon Hill?
Yeah. Or you can buy You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor, which is a more simpler version.
Nice.
And just read books and study yourself and go from there and see what you think of it. Don't judge it till you try it, basically.
No, I like it. Thank you very much. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, that was great. I really enjoyed it, to be honest.
Good done. Thank you very much. I appreciate you a lot. It's been a really good chat. And all the details below. So thanks all for listening.
Awesome.